What are some hindrances to a powerful prayer life? The most obvious hindrance to effective prayer is the presence of unconfessed sins in the heart of the one who is praying. Because our God is holy, there is a barrier that exists between Him and us when we come to Him with unconfessed sin in our lives. But your iniquities have separated you from your God. Your sins have hidden His face from you, so that He will not hear. Isaiah 59:2. David concurred, knowing from experience that God is far from those who try to hide their sin. If I had cherished sin in my heart, the Lord would not have listened. Psalm 66:18. The Bible refers to several areas of sin that are hindrances to effective prayer. First, when we are living according to the flesh, rather than in the Spirit, our desire to pray and our ability to effectively communicate with God are hindered. Although we receive a new nature when we are born again, that new nature still resides in our old flesh, and that old tent is corrupt and sinful. The flesh can gain control of our actions, attitudes, and motives unless we are diligent to put to death the deeds of the body, Romans 8:13, and be led by the Spirit in a right relationship with God. Only then will we be able to pray in close communion with Him. One way living in the flesh manifests itself is in selfishness, another hindrance to effective prayer. When our prayers are selfishly motivated, when we ask God for what we want rather than for what He wants, our motives hinder our prayers. This is the confidence we have in approaching God, that if we ask anything according to His will, He hears us. 1 John 5:14. Asking according to God's will is the same as asking in submission to whatever His will may be, whether or not we know what that will is. As in all things, Jesus is to be our example in prayer. He always prayed in the will of His Father. Yet not my will, but yours be done. Luke 22:42. Selfish prayers are always those that are intended to gratify our own selfish desires, and we should not expect God to respond to such prayers. When you ask, you do not receive, because you ask with wrong motives, that you may spend what you get on your pleasures. James 4:3. Living according to selfish fleshly desires will also hinder our prayers, because it produces a hardness of heart toward others. If we are indifferent to the needs of others, we can expect God to be indifferent to our needs. When we go to God in prayer, our first concern should be His will. The second should be the needs of others. This stems from the understanding that we are to consider others better than ourselves and be concerned about their interests over and above our own. Philippians chapter 2, 3 and 4.